Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Georgetown High School. We come back to action at 11 o'clock game this morning. Feels like 9 o'clock. 11 o'clock game after a great ball game last night between your Georgetown Eagles and the Elgin Wildcats. Georgetown pulling it out, putting up some runs there, 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and then hold on in the 7th to win it 4-3 over the Elgin Wildcats and improve to 5-1 in district play. I'm Wally Harmon alongside my wife, Jerry Ann. And we bring you Georgetown Eagle Baseball here on the SHN Sports Network. First Responder Broadcasting covers everything Georgetown High School sports. And this baseball season, we love it. King's Pest Control is our big sponsor to bring you Georgetown baseball. King's Pest Control is our sole sponsor of Georgetown Eagle Baseball here this season. And we thank Landon King and King's Pest Control for all of their support. The Liberty Hill Panthers come in today in a 5A clash of 2 teams just separated a few miles down Highway 29. They come in 14-4, 6-0 in their district, and they are on a 10-game winning streak. Georgetown comes into the ballgame 9-7-1, and they are 5-1 in district, a 2-game winning streak after the back-to-back games against Elgin to win those to take that 2-game series. The teams between these 2 teams, they've only played 2 times, and that was back in the wonderful year of 2022 when Georgetown won the 5A state title. It was a series that was split. The first ball game over at Liberty Hill, we lost 3-1, and then turned around on April 26th and beat Liberty Hill pretty much in a must-win situation. We had to win one of the 2 games at the end just to make the playoffs. We beat Liberty Hill 7-3 before going on to beat Cedar Park at home that Friday night and then take the number 1 seed. And you remember it well as we ran through the playoffs and won the state title at the Dell Diamond. These 2 teams not very unfamiliar with each other. A lot of opportunities. These kids play together growing up as it is just about 16 miles away from each other down Highway 29. Liberty Hill comes in averaging 6.6 runs a game. Georgetown averaging 6.7 runs a game. Liberty Hill allowing 4.1 runs a game. Georgetown allowing 3.2 runs a game. And so a lot of similarities between these teams. They love to put the ball in play. They have speed and will put pressure on you around the base pass. And it should be a fun one here on this Saturday morning. 11 a.m. start as we get ready to go here at Eagle Field. The starting lineup for the Liberty Hill Panthers as selected by head coach Brandon Creek. Leading it off at center field, number 14, Grayson McVan. Batting second, the third baseman, number 18, Danny Rodriguez. Batting third, the first baseman, number 5, Chase Breckel. Batting fourth, the DH, number 17, Fozzie Moore. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 22, Jackson Richter. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 1, Pearson Lowry. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 6, Kobe Neuenschwander. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 16, Hayden Macbeth. And batting ninth, the catcher, number 21, Caleb Carpenter. On the mound for the Liberty Hill Panthers will be number 24, Tyler Dominguez. So the Panthers will go with McVan, Rodriguez, and Breckel in the top third. Moore, Richter, and Lowry in the middle third. Neuenschwander, Macbeth, and Carpenter in the bottom third. Your Georgetown Eagles head coach, Jordan Vieira, assistant coaches, Chad Payne and David Durrell, Frank Anzuris, James Key. On the road today with the freshman at JV, down the road at Liberty Hill. The starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles as selected by head coach Jordan Vieira. Leading it off at shortstop will be number 7, Jack Kiki. Batting second at catcher, number 23, Connor Young. Batting third, the second baseman, number 6, Luke Holly. Batting fourth at third base, number 16, Hayden Grooms. Batting fifth at first base, number 12, David Fluitt. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 8, Jaden Howell. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 9, Colton Crutchfield. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 4, Tate Ritchie. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 24, Cooper Thomas. On the mound for the Georgetown Eagles today, starting it out, is the senior right-hander, number 10, Hagen Tate. So the Eagles will respond with Kiki, Young, and Holly in the top third. Grooms, Fluitt, Howell in the middle third. Crutchfield, Ritchie, and Thomas in the bottom third with Hagen Tate, the right-handed senior pitcher, on the mound for your Georgetown Eagles. The Eagles will be in the beautiful cream jerseys with the Georgetown and script lettering underneath the bat with Eagles on both ends, and blue on the Georgetown script lettering and blue numerals on the back of those cream jerseys, knee-high with blue socks, blue hats, and the white G logo out of the third base dugout here at home today. The Liberty Hill Panthers come in, the visitors in the first base dugout, wearing the white pinstripe pants, white with purple pinstripes, black jerseys with Panthers in capital block print lettering across the front of those jerseys with purple outlined in white, purple numbers outlined in white on the front and back of the black jerseys with the purple hat and the LH logo on the front of the Liberty Hill Panther hat. A two-man umpiring crew about to head to home plate to have the visit with the head coaches, Brandon Creek and Jordan Vieira, with manager Jared Frimmel. Georgetown comes into the ball game on a tear in district. They let the one slip away against Elgin Eastview behind a great pitching performance by Andres Uzkateki, but then responded well with a 10-0 win. But what a battle last night. Clutch hitting for Georgetown, none bigger than the pinch hit by Colton Crutchfield in the 6th inning when he drove the RBI triple to right center field to score the tying run, and then Crutchfield scored the eventual game-winning run on the pass ball in that same inning. And so just a continued great effort between this defense playing all behind their pitchers. David Flew had a great night on the mound for the Eagles last night. He pitched 6 innings in the ball game, allowed just 2 hits. The three runs, two of them coming off the 2-run home run by Kaysen Nall there in the top of the 5th inning, top of the 6th inning, that tied it up. Put Elgin ahead by 2, and Georgetown had to fight back from that. But a great pitching performance by Fluitt. He ends up getting the win, and then Grooms comes in to shut the door in the 7th for the save. Jack Grames did a great job pitching in 5 innings all 6 innings for the Elgin Wildcats. But just tough hitting there in the tech. We got to him at a pitch count when he got up in the 80s, 90s. And then that was a beautiful inning there in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 1-out single by Fluitt. And then that was followed by back-to-back RBI triples by Braden Curtin and Colton Crutchfield. And so just a great job by Georgetown to continue to fight in a game that was back and forth from the 3rd inning on. And so what a win there for Georgetown. They come in today ready to go as Hagen Tate makes his 2nd start since district play started. He started the first game against the Conley Cougars back in early March when we took on the Cougars here at home. And so Tate will be on the mound, and it will be fun to watch him as he's coming back from an illness. And so Hagen Tate will go and face off against Tyler Dominguez and the Liberty Hill Panthers. We'll take a quick timeout. We come back. They'll do the introductions, the national anthem, and we'll be ready for first pitch action live here at Eagle Field. Stay with us on the SHN Sports Network.
Royalty, put blame on me. Hey, my trend. Word up, OG. Watch how you talking your tone. What I be on? You cannot make me a clone. You already know T versus T. Comparing to every white boy in America. I'm doing it different, attacking the limits, won't fit the criteria. Here in stereo, saying American. Hang around you and your crew's embarrassing. Take that sneak post down, flexing on me is hilarious. Don't take it from me.
Back here live, Eagle Field. We go to the PA announcer for the starting lineups.
Batting 3rd, playing 1st, number 5, Chase Breckel. Batting 4th, designated hitter, number 17, Fozzie Moore. Batting 5th, playing right, number 22, Jackson Richter. Batting 6th, playing short, number 1, Pearson Lowry. Batting 7th, playing left field, number 6, Kobe Neuenschwander. Batting 8th, playing second, number 16, Hayden Macbeth. Batting 9th and catching, number 21, Caleb Carpenter. And pitching for Liberty Hill, number 24, Tyler Dominguez. And now your Georgetown Eagles. Batting first and playing shortstop, number 7, Jack Kiki. Batting second, playing catcher, number 23, Connor Young. Batting third, playing second, number 6, Luke Holly. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 16, Hayden Brooms. Batting fifth, playing first base, number 12, David Fluid. Batting sixth, designated hitter, number 8, Jaden Howell. Batting seventh, playing left field, number 9, Colton Crutchfield. Batting eighth, playing right field, number 4, Tate Ritchie. Batting ninth, playing center, number 24, Cooper Thomas. And pitching for Georgetown, number 10, Hayden Tate. If you would please stand and remove your hats for the national anthem.
Back to the booth we come, and we prepare for today's national anthem. Join us, and we'll be ready for first pitch after the Star Spangled Banner. Back here live at Eagle Field, King's Pest Control, the sponsor of Georgetown Eagle Baseball here on the SHN Sports Network for First Responder Broadcasting. 512-930-PEST. That's not 512-930-7378. Located here in Georgetown, family and locally owned since 1982. It's affordable upfront pricing, no contracts, with all your pest control needs, serving Williamson County's pest control needs for over 40 years. Safe and reliable pest control services for your home or business. That's King's Pest Control, proud sponsors of Georgetown Eagle Baseball and your First Responder Broadcast team. We go to the top of the first inning, and we'll bring that crowd mic back in and get the ambiance of the field ready to go as Hagen Tate runs through his warm-up pitches here in the top of the first inning. He'll face off against the top three hitters in the Liberty Hill Panther lineup. It'll be Grayson McVan, Danny Rodriguez, Chase Breckel here in the top of the first for your Liberty Hill Panthers. And then we'll go back. Let's go to the defense for the Eagles. We'll set that for us as we get started, I think. And it's not popping up. There it is for Georgetown. Colton Crutchfield in left, Cooper Thomas in center, Tate Ritchie in right, Hayden Grooms at third, Jack Kiki at short, Luke Holly at second, David Fluid at first, Connor Young, the sophomore, behind the plate, and Hagen Tate, the right fielder, on the mound. From the windup, first base side of the rubber, Hagen Tate's ready, and we're underway here at Eagle Field. First pitch Misses high for ball one. To the left-handed hitting Grayson McVan, the center fielder for the Liberty Hill Panthers. 1-0 count. Tate from the windup, the 1-0 pitch. That one misses just low for ball two. 2-0 the count. Tate looks in, gets the sign. The 2-0 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. 2-1 to count now to Grayson McVan, the center fielder, a junior here for the Panthers. The 2-1 pitch. That one misses just low. Ball three, a 3-1 count. Strike delayed. He has a slow. Oh, I can't jump him. 2-2 count now to McVan. He'll choke up, scoots in from the left side. Hagen Tate from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Nice start there for Hagen Tate, the Georgetown Eagles. First strikeout of the ball game for out number one. And that'll bring up the third baseman, number 18, Danny Rodriguez. He's a senior at Liberty Hill. He'll step in from the right side. One out, the base is empty here in the top of the first. The first pitch from Tate. Fly ball back out of play down the first baseline. 0-1 to count. To Rodriguez. Rodriguez back in. Tate from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike two. An off-speed pitch finds the strike zone, and now Tate way ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. From the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on the break-in pitch. 2 strikeouts in a row for Hagen Tate. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night on that 3-pitch strikeout for strikeout number 2. And in steps the number 3 hitter, the first baseman, number 5, Chase Breckel. He'll bat from the right side. Breckel, a senior for the Panthers, steps in, ready to go. Tate from the windup. The umpire said he went around and was unable to check his swing on that breaking ball down in the turf. 0-1 the count now to Breckel. Fozzie Moore, the designated hitter, on deck for the Panthers. The 0-1 pitch misses low and away. Ball one. 1-1 the count. Breckel back in for the right side. Tate from the windup. The 1-1 pitch. Outside corner for a called strike 2. 1-2 the count now. Hagen Tate working quickly. The 1-2 pitch. Misses low and outside. 2-2 now the count to Chase Breckel. Hagen Tate, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikes out the side here in the top of the first for the Panthers. They go in order, all by the K variety. And after half an inning, it's Liberty Hill nothing. Georgetown coming up to bat. Eagle baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Back here at Eagle Field, we go to the bottom of the first inning, and we'll set up the defense for the Liberty Hill Panthers. Neuenschwander in left, McVan in center, Richter in right. Rodriguez at third, Lowry at short, Macbeth at second base, Breckel at first, Carpenter behind the plate and on the mound. For the Liberty Hill Panthers, the junior right-hander, number 24, Tyler Dominguez. He'll face off against the top 3 in the Georgetown lineup to start the bottom of the first. Jack Kiki, Connor Young, Luke Holly due up here for the Georgetown Eagles. Kiki, the junior shortstop, will step in from the right side to lead things off here in the bottom of the first for Georgetown. Now Tyler Dominguez will work out of the windup, modified windup. First pitch misses for ball one. From the first base side of the rubber, kind of a side windup. The 1-0 pitch to Kiki. Fouled off of his leg. Kiki takes a knee in the box. 1-1 to count. Jack will walk it off, get ready, and back in the box. The umpire sent the catcher out a few steps to give Kiki a couple of seconds. Now Jack back in there. Dominguez from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Off-speed pitch, fly ball. Back behind the bag at second. The shortstop over. Calls for it, makes the catch about 10 feet into center field. So Lowry makes the catch. F6 in the book to retire Kiki for the first out of the ball game. That'll bring up the catcher, the sophomore, number 23, Connor Young. Throws right, bats left as he steps in here with one out and the base is empty in the bottom of the first. Young got the night off behind the plate last night against Elgin. Back behind the plate tonight. First pitch skips inside for ball one. 1-0 the count. One ball, no strikes. To the catcher, Connor Young. Young back in from the left side. Dominguez from the windup. Swinging, fly ball into left field. Neuenschwander will settle under it and make the catch. For out number 2, F7 in the book to retire Connor Young. And that'll bring up the second baseman, number 6, senior Luke Holly. Luke will step in here with 2 outs and the base is empty in the bottom half of the first inning. Holly in from the right side. First pitch from Dominguez. Breaking pitch stays low into the turf. Squirts back behind the catcher, Carpenter. Ball one. 1-0 the count. Holly back in for the right side. The 1-0 pitch from Dominguez. Misses low in the turf for ball 2. 2-0 the count now. On deck, number 16, Hayden Grooms, the third baseman. For Georgetown, should Holly be able to extend the inning here with 2 outs? Holly back in. Dominguez, the 2-0 pitch. That one catches the outside corner for a called strike. 2-1 the count. Two and one the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2 the count now to Luke Holly with 2 outs and the base is empty. Holly back in. Dominguez gets the sign. The 2-2 pitch. That one down in the turf for ball 3. And the count runs full now to Luke with 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base is empty here in the bottom of the first. The payoff pitch. Holly yanks it foul off the third base dugout netting out to the third baseman. So the count remains full. Luke will settle back in from the right side. Dominguez from the windup. The payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Holly down on strikes for out number 3. The Eagles go in order here in the bottom of the first. After 1 complete, we remain scoreless at Eagle Field. Stay with us. Eagle Baseball continues in a moment. Back live here to Eagle Field, and we go to the top of the second. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters, 2 up for the Panthers. Fozzie Moore, Jackson Richter, and Pearson Lowry. Fozzie Moore, number 17, the designated hitter, steps in for the Panthers. As Hagen Tate from the windup, the first pitch to Moore. Over his head for ball 1 as he ducks under it. Moore, the senior. Hitting in the 4 slot today is the DH for the Panthers. Tate from the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Fouled off, back out of play down the first baseline. Count evens up at 1-1. Next action for the Liberty Hill Panthers on the 1st of April. They will be at home against the Glen Grizzlies and turn around to be at Glen on Friday the 4th. Back in district play for the Panthers. The 1-1 pitch misses low and outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count now to Fozzie Moore. The 2-1 pitch from Hagen Tate. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2-2 the count now to the DH, Fozzie Moore. Moore back in, Tate from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch, fly ball. Kiki will call for it and take it about 3 steps into the grass for out number 1. They have 6 in the book to retire Moore. That'll bring up number 22, Jackson Richter, the right fielder. Richter, a junior, will step in from the right side. With 1 out and the base is empty here in the top of the 2nd. First pitch to Richter, low and away on the breaking pitch down in the turf, ball 1. In the first inning, Tate struck out the side on 13 pitches as he works here in the top of the 2nd, the 1-0 pitch. And that's in there for a called strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count now. The 1-1 pitch. Fly ball into right field. Tate Ritchie to his left. Curls around, gets under it, makes the catch for out number 2, F9 in the book, to retire Richter. With 2 outs and the base is empty. In steps the shortstop, number 1, Pearson Lowry. Senior bats from the right side. Sun starts to peek through the clouds here on the right side. Hagen Tate looks in and gets the sign. The first pitch to Lowry. Low and outside, ball 1. Lowry back in, the 1-0 pitch. Squares the bunt, but he bunted at it, and it went off the umpire's arm as well. He'll take his mask off and walk. Connor Young will take it out to the mound. A 1-1 count should be, as Lowry went for the bunt and bailed out. Trying to avoid being hit, so it evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Lowry back in. Hagen Tate gets the sign. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Chases the high heat for strike 2. 1-2 the count now. To Pearson Lowry. With 2 outs and the base is empty. Tate shakes one here. And now the 1-2 pitch. Right down Main Street. Oh, he did call the second pitch a ball, so that makes it 2-2. So now the 2-2 pitch to Lowry. Chases it down to the turf. Connor Young will retrieve it. Throw down to Fluid at first in time, and the Liberty Hill Panthers are down in order here in the top of the 2nd. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. After an inning and a half, 0-0 your score. Georgetown Baseball, presented by King's Pest Control, returns in a moment.
Yeah. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking Bake Brody. Pin rolling, never sleep, I just keep going. Hit my peak now, I just started like my name Tommy. Had a vision, this was destined for my life story. Bible by my side, I keep it like a gun on me. War ready and we ain't afraid to get bloody. Told me I should quit my day job, that's funny. Hate will always elevate me, I'ma keep showing. Out and selling, records spinning, it ain't never slowing. Take the stage, take the crown, I don't need it, got the sound. I'ma be the king forever, even when they count me out. Favorite rapper, raise a bar from the ground. Taking risks you never dreamed of, get my name up out your mouth. Don't talk, it's silent on the floor, kings walk. We gon' drag your body through the door in shock. How I got 'em asking for a tour, man, stop. I'ma need a second, maybe more. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies.
Back live here at Eagle Field. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Georgetown will bring up the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Hayden Grooms, David Fluitt, and Jaden Howe. Number 16, Hayden Grooms, the third baseman. The senior steps in from the right side to face off against Tyler Dominguez. On for a second inning of work. The first pitch, Grooms, a swing and a miss, strike one. In the first inning, Dominguez retired the Eagles in order on 12 pitches with one strikeout. Grooms back in. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 0-2 the count. To the third baseman, Hayden Grooms hitting in the 4 slot. David Fluitt, the third baseman, or first baseman, on deck for Georgetown. Here in the bottom of the second. Dominguez from the windup. The 0-2 pitch. Misses just outside for ball one. 1-2 the count. Grooms back in. Dominguez gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit into left field. Hayden Grooms sat on that off-speed pitch and drove it into left field. Good piece of hitting there by the third baseman, Hayden Grooms. First hit of the ball game. And with the leadoff single, that'll bring up David Fluitt, the first baseman, the senior. Throws left, bats left, steps in here. No outs and a runner at first. Fluitt pitched the ball game last night, had 2 hits on the night. Steps in here with Grooms at first, being held on by Breckel. First pitch to Fluitt. Base hit, left center field. That's going to be extra bases. Grooms around second. He's headed to third. He is going to be held at third, and that's going to be a double for David Fluitt. And Georgetown has runners on second and third on back-to-back base hits. They open up the bottom of the second inning. That first pitch to Fluitt, driven to the left center field gap.
At bat number 8, Jaden Howe.
And now that'll bring up the DH, number 8, Jaden Howe. Coach Payne waited till the last minute to give Grooms the stop sign, but with no outs, no use taking the chance there of getting Grooms thrown out at home. So Jaden Howe will step in here from the left side. With no outs and runners on second and third, the infield in for the Panthers. The first pitch to Howe. He'll lay off and take it for ball one. I'm way behind on the scoreboard. Forgot I was doing it. I apologize. Runners on second and third. The 1-0 pitch. Howe will check his swing for strike one. So he takes that one. 1-1 the count now. Dominguez works out of the windup with runners on second and third. The 1-1 pitch to Howe. Howe takes it low and away for ball two. 2-1 the count now to Jaden Howe. No outs. Runners on second and third here in the bottom of the second. As Howe looks over to Coach Vieira for the signs out of the dugout. Coach Payne, the coach down at third base. Coach Durrell down at first base for Georgetown. The 2-1 pitch. Howe, line drive back up the middle. Base hit. That'll score Grooms. Here comes Fluitt around from third, and he'll score a 2 RBI base hit for Jaden Howe. And Georgetown takes the 2-0 lead. With a runner on first and no outs here in the bottom of the second. A beautiful piece of hitting there by the DH, Jaden Howe. He singles in 2 runs. Third hit in a row for Georgetown. As Groom scored from third, Fluid from second. So Howell down at first base with no outs, and in steps the left fielder, number 9, Colton Crutchfield. He'll bat from the right side. The first pitch for Crutchfield is low and outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to the senior left fielder, Colton Crutchfield. Had a huge pinch hit RBI triple last night, scored the winning run. The 1-0 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count to Colton Crutchfield. Jaden Howe down at first base after the 2 RBI single. Dominguez a step off. Howe will dive back in safely there, but no throw. On deck for Georgetown, the right fielder, Tate Ritchie. 1-1 pitch, catches the outside corner for a called strike 2. 1-2 the count now. One ball, 2 strikes, no outs, a runner at first. Dominguez comes set in the stretch, a step off, no throw. Great piece of hitting, 3 base hits in a row, a single, a double, and a single. 1-2 pitch down to the turf. Carpenter blocks it, but gets away from him. And Jaden Howe will still second base. 2-2 the count to Crutchfield now. A 2-2 count to Crutchfield. No outs and a runner now at second base. Jaden Howe in scoring position for the Eagles. Tyler Dominguez comes set in the stretch. Look at second, the 2-2 pitch. Crutchfield, ground ball, pounded out towards short. The shortstop up with it. The throw across the diamond, scoops in there. And a great snag by Breckle to scoop it out of the turf for out number 1, 6-3. But being in front of him, Howell unable to advance to third. So 1 out, the runner at second, and in steps the right fielder, senior Tate Ritchie. Hitting in the number 8 slot. When Cooper Thomas moves into the on-deck circle for the Eagles. Here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 runs across in the inning on 3 consecutive hits. Dominguez a look at second base. The first pitch to Ritchie. Low and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count to the senior right fielder, Tate Ritchie. Jaden Howe gets time. Laces up the old cleats at second base. But a great job by Jaden Howe. The runners on second and third, the infield in. Sends a line drive into center field to score the 2 runs for Georgetown. To take the 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. Dominguez comes set in the stretch. You look at second base. The 1-0 pitch. Down low, ball 2. Tate ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. In his first plate appearance here today against the Panthers. Activity down the first base line in the Panther bullpen. The 2-0 pitch driven right back up the middle, a base hit. And Coach Payne will stop Howell at third base now. Runners on the corners on the 4th hit of the ball game, all here in the second inning as Tate Ritchie drove that 2-0 pitch right back up the middle. Howell to third, Ritchie to first. And in steps Cooper Thomas, the number 9 hitter, but a visit from the Liberty Hill Panther dugout, and we'll take it with them. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment. Back out of the visit from Coach Brandon Creek. And we get back to action here in the bottom of the second. Runners on first and third with one out. And the number 9 hitter, the center fielder, Cooper Thomas, the sophomore, steps in from the right side. Dominguez first pitch. Thomas squares the bunt. The throw from the catcher, Carpenter, sails into center field, and that will allow Jaden Howell to cruise into score. So he'll score on the error by the catcher, Carpenter. Stolen base for Cooper Thomas, or correction, for Tate Ritchie. So the first error of the ball game committed there. As Carpenter's throw sails into center field. Ritchie leads off second. The 1-0 pitch to Cooper. Swing and a miss. Evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 0-2. He called the first pitch a strike, saying he went for it with the bunt. So no balls and 2 strikes to count to Cooper Thomas with 1 out and a runner at second base. 3 runs across for the Eagles here in the inning. The 0-2 pitch misses for ball 1. 1-2 the count now. Dominguez comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Thomas swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cooper Thomas down on strikes for out number 2. Now that'll take us back to the top of the lineup to Jack Kiki. Second strikeout of the ball game for Tyler Dominguez.
Now batting number 7, Jack Kiki.
The shortstop, Jack Kiki, will step in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out to the shortstop into shallow center field to lead off the bottom of the first. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner at second. Dominguez, the first pitch to Kiki, misses outside for ball 1. Dominguez, the 1-0 pitch. Catches the inside corner for a called strike 1. 1-1 the count now to Kiki. After the Georgetown Liberty Hill ball game, Waco Midway and New Braunfels will play a Saturday game here at Eagle Field. The 1-1 pitch to Kiki. Low and outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count now to the junior shortstop, Jack Kiki. Turn and look at second base. No throws. Ritchie cruises in, standing safely. The 2-1 pitch. Misses. Oh, my. Catches the outside corner. 2-2 the count now. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3 runs across. A runner at second base. Dominguez comes set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. That one misses outside for ball 3, and the count runs full now to Jack Kiki. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Dominguez comes set. A look at second base. Now he'll step off as Tate Ritchie has his attention down at second. The payoff pitch. Ground ball hit out to third. Rodriguez up with it. Throws across the diamond in time to get Jack Kiki and retire the side. But not before Georgetown picks up 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base after 2 complete. Georgetown 3, Liberty Hill 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment.
Yeah, I'm the big homie. For those of y'all that don't know me, one and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking bake Brody. Pin rolling, never sleep, I just keep going. Hit my peak now, I just started like my name Tommy. Had a vision, this was destined for my life story. Bible by my side, I keep it like a gun on me. War ready and we ain't afraid to get bloody. Told me I should quit my day job, that's funny. Hate will always elevate me, I'ma keep showing. Out and selling, record spinning, it ain't never slowing. Take the stakes, take the crown, I don't need it, got the sound. I'ma be the king forever, even when they count me out. Favorite rapper, raise a bar from the ground. Taking risks you never dreamed of, get my name up out your mouth. Don't talk, it's silent on the floor, kings walk. We gon' drag your body through the door in shock. How I got 'em asking for a tour, man, stop. I'ma need a second, maybe more. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking bake Brody. Independent on my own, on my stand. Taking handles, not for me, I like the back of my demands. Bet against me, I'ma need that money coming in advance. I play with God's hand, you ain't never stood a chance. Take over your playlist, I'm that dude, set the mood. Know I've always been on top of.
And we're back here. We go to the top of the third inning at Eagle Field. Liberty Hill steps in. They trail 3-0 after Georgetown plates 3 runs in the bottom of the second. First pitch fouled off to Neuenschwander. As Hagen Tate pitches to the 7, 8, and 9 hitters here in the top of the third. Neuenschwander, McBeth, and Carpenter. 0-1 the count to Kobe Neuenschwander. Tate from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. In there for a called strike 2, 0-2 the count. Tate through 2 innings has faced the minimum 6 hitters, struck out 4 of them, has thrown 26 pitches as he works here in the third. The 0-2 pitch just misses for ball 1. Neuenschwander, the junior. Bats from the left side. The 1-2 pitch just misses for ball 2, and the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Neuenschwander ready to go. Tate from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Up and in. Ball 3. So now Neuenschwander has worked the count full after going behind. 0-2. The payout pitch to Neuenschwander. Misses low. Ball 4. So the first base runner of the ball game for the Panthers comes on the first walk issued by Hagen Tate.
At bat number 16, Hayden.
And that'll bring up number 16, Hayden McBeth, the second baseman. Senior will step in from the right side. No outs and a runner at first. Fluid will hold on the runner. Neuenschwander as Tate moves to the stretch for the first time. Works from the first base side of the rubber. Comes set, the first pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count to McBeth. With Caleb Carpenter, the catcher, on deck. The number 9 hitter for the Panthers. Tate comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Nope, throw over to first. A close play there, but Neuenschwander gets in just before the tag from David Fluid. So we all reset. McBeth back in from the right side. Tate comes set in the stretch. Another throw over. Neuenschwander safe there. The Unicorns of New Braunfels against the Midway out of Waco in game number 2 here at Eagle Field today. The 0-1 pitch to McBeth. Squares the bunt, bunts it. High hopper, it's in foul territory as it pops back behind home plate in the batter's box. So 0-2 count here as Connor Young was up out of the crouch and ready to fire down to first. But now no balls, 2 strikes to McBeth with no outs and a runner at first. The leadoff walk to Neuenschwander, the first base runner. For the Panthers here in the top of the third. Tate comes set. A throw over to first here. A slap tag by Fluid, but Neuenschwander back under the tag safely there. Hagen Tate looks in. Comes set in the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Line drive up the middle, off the mound. Kiki will field it. Flip to Holly at second in time. Over to first, not in time as McBeth got down the line. So they'll get the out at first. McBeth will reach on the fielder's choice, 6-4. They'll get the out at second. McBeth will be safe at first. So they'll eliminate the runner, Neuenschwander, on the 6-4 put out for out number 1. Now McBeth out at first on the fielder's choice. And with 1 out and a runner at first, in steps the catcher, Caleb Carpenter, number 21. He'll bat from the right side. First pitch from Tate in there for a called strike 1. 0-1 to count to Caleb Carpenter. On deck, the top of the lineup, Grayson McVan is due up. The 0-1 pitch, breaking pitch in there for a called strike 2. 0-2 the count. The number 9 hitter in the lineup, Caleb Carpenter, the catcher for the Liberty Hill Panthers. Tate comes set. The 0-2 pitch, low and away. It skips off of Connor Young. The wild pitch will allow McBeth to move up to second base. First wild pitch of the ball game for Hagen Tate. Now a base runner in scoring position at second base with 1 out. 1-2 the count to Carpenter. Tate will come set in the stretch. A look at second base. The 1-2 pitch. A throw down to second behind the runner, and McBeth to third, and he's going to be tagged out. So a strikeout of Carpenter on the check swing. He advances on the drop third strike, but throws down to second behind the runner, McBeth, who had a big lead. And Kiki scoops it, throws the Grooms at third, and they tag him out trying to advance to third. So number 19, Camden Coggin will come in to run for the catcher, Carpenter, as McVan will step in. So Carpenter reaches on the strike, drop third strike. McVan steps in for the left side. 0-1 in the ballgame as he struck out back in the first inning. Tate comes set. The first pitch to McVan, low for ball 1. But a heads-up play there by Connor Young, the sophomore. Throws a rocket down to Kiki at second. So that caught stealing will be throw over to first. Safely there is Coggin. So the caught stealing will be, or a pickoff, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be 2-6-5 on the putout of McBeth. The 1-0 pitch to McVan. Inside corner, called strike 1. 1-1 to count. A 1-1, 2 outs here in the top of the third. The Panthers have a runner on first. The 1-1 pitch, McVan fouls it off down the third baseline, out of play, and now behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tate comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Misses low and inside, ball 2. Count even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good number of Liberty Hill fans here on the first base side of the stands, and a good number of Georgetown fans in the middle and left side, third base line, side of the stands. The 2-2 pitch from Tate. Line drive hit out into center field. It's going to be into the gap, cut off by Cooper Thomas. He'll come up with it, and he'll make the throw. As it's going to be a 2-out double by McVan.
At bat, number 18, Danny Rodriguez.
And so the Panthers have runners on second and third with 2 outs here in the inning. Nice piece of hitting there by McVan on the 2-2 count. Coggin moves from first to third, so now runners on second and third with 2 outs. And in steps Danny Rodriguez, the third baseman. He's 0-1 in the ball game. Struck out back in the first inning. Steps in here with an opportunity to scratch some runs here with runners On second and third and 2 outs. Tate stays in the stretch. The first pitch to Rodriguez is down to the turf for ball 1. Nice stop by Connor Young. 1-0 the count to Rodriguez with Breckel, the first baseman, on deck for the Panthers. Rodriguez back in for the right side. Tate comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2, 2-0 the count. Coggin off third. McVan off second. The 2-0 pitch to Rodriguez. Skips in. Connor Young, a good block, keeps it out. And now it's a 3-0 count to Danny Rodriguez. Hagen Tate takes a stroll around the back of the mound. Couple of deep breaths there as he toes the rubber here with a 3-0 count to Rodriguez, the number 2 hitter in the Liberty Hill lineup. The 3-0 pitch misses for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk has loaded him up. Second walk issued by Tate. And now the bases are full, and in steps the first baseman, Chase Breckel. Breckel 0 for 1 in the ball game. And now a visit from pitching coach Chad Payne. And we'll take the quick timeout. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here at Eagle Field after the visit. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Breckel in for the right side, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Tate's first pitch, ground ball hit out to the shortstop, Kiki. The only play is across the diamond, and in time, what a play! Jack Kiki on the move to his right, throws across his body. Fluid picks it in time to get Breckel, and no run score with the bases loaded here in the top of the third. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, and 3 runners left on base. After 2.5, Georgetown 3 at Liberty Hill nothing. Eagle baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Back live here at Eagle Field. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Georgetown brings up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters against the new pitcher, a senior right-hander, number 28, Derek Long, on the mound now. For the Panthers, Connor Young steps in, 0-for-1 in the ball game from the left side. From the windup, Long's first pitch sails high for ball 1. 2 innings pitch for Tyler Dominguez through 39 pitches, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, struck out 2. As Long from the windup, center of the rubber. The 1-0 pitch to Young. Misses high and away, ball 2, 2-0 the count. Make a correction. The catcher for the Liberty Hill Panthers is Colton Carpenter. We were given the incorrect name of Caleb. It is Colton Carpenter, so we apologize. The 2-0 pitch misses outside for 3-0 now to Connor Young with Luke Holly on deck. Hayden Grooms in the hole for Georgetown here in the bottom of the third. Long from the windup. The 3-0 pitch to Connor Young. That one's in there for a called strike 1. Three and 1 to count now. Connor back in from the left side. Long from the windup. The 3-1 pitch. Ground ball hit back up the middle into center field past the diving shortstop Lowry. And it's a leadoff base hit for the Eagles. 5th hit of the ball game. And the leadoff man on base for the 2nd inning in a row. Justin Soto will come on.
Now batting number 6.
The courtesy run for the catcher, Connor Young. That'll be Justin Soto. And Luke Holly will step in for the Eagles. Holly 0-for-1 in the ballgame. Struck out looking in the first. Steps in here with no outs and a runner at first. Soto will be held on by Breckle at first base. As Long throws out of the stretch now. First pitch. Up and over the head. And Soto tries to advance, and he's thrown out by Carpenter as the ball shot back off of the padding. So the base runner advanced on the attempted steal after the wild pitch by Long. 2-6 on the caught stealing for out number 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Luke Holly. The 1-0 pitch. Outside corner called strike 1. The 1-1 pitch from Long. Called strike. I think there was a miscommunication there between the pitch Carpenter called and what Long threw. It popped out of Carpenter's glove like he was not ready for that one. But it's called a strike. 1-2 the count to Luke Holly now with 1 out. The base is empty here in the bottom of the third. After the leadoff base hit by Connor Young. Soto erased on the caught stealing. The 1-2 pitch to Holly. Holly hits it out towards short. Lowry up with it to throw across the diamond in time. 6-3 on the put out to retire Holly for out number 2. And with 2 outs, here comes number 16, Hayden Grooms, the third baseman.
Number 16, Hayden Grooms.
Grooms led off the bottom of the second with a base hit and scored the first run of the ball game. Steps in here with 2 outs and the base is empty in the bottom of the third. From the windup. Misses for ball 1 to Grooms. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 pitch to Grooms skips in and away from the catcher Carpenter for ball 2. 2-0 the count now to Hayden Grooms. Long gets the sign from the windup. The 2-0 pitch. Low and outside, ball 3. On deck, David Fluid. Should Grooms be able to extend the inning here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Grooms back in for the right side. Derek Long gets the sign from the windup. The 3-0 pitch. And that one's in there for a called strike. Grooms taking all the way. 3-2 3-1 the count now to Hayden Grooms. From the windup, the 3-1 pitch. Low and outside, ball 4. So a 2-out base runner for the Eagles now on the first walk of the ball game by Panther pitchers. And that'll bring up David Fluitt, who's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Fluitt doubled and scored a run back in the second inning as he stands in here with 2 outs. And a runner at first base. Long from the stretch, the first pitch to Fluitt. Misses low and away for ball 1. One of those count to Fluitt. Lefty back in as Long comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Ball pulled foul down the first baseline. 1-1 the count now. David Fluitt, senior first baseman. Long looks in and gets the sign from his catcher, Carpenter. Comes set in the stretch. Grooms held on by Breckel. The 1-1 pitch down in the turf for ball 2. Good block by Carpenter. Doesn't allow Grooms to move up. Long comes set, the 2-1 pitch. Base hit down the first baseline, fair. Grooms around second, he's headed to the third. Fluitt will hold it first with the throw coming back in. Breckel will cut it, and runners on the corners with 2 outs on David Fluitt's second hit of the ball game. Grooms up to third. Fluitt down to first base. And in steps Jaden Howe. Howe, the DH, had a 2 RBI double, 2 RBI single back in the second inning that scored Grooms and Fluitt. Steps in here now with 2 outs and runners on the corners for the Eagles. Fluitt held on at first by Breckel. Grooms leads off third. Long comes set. The lefty Howe ready. The first pitch low in the turf for ball 1. So Howe 1 for 1 of the ball game. Pretty good stat line in his first plate appearance. A 2 RBI single, stole second, and scored a run. Carpenter gives the signs to his defense. Fluitt leads off first base. Long looks in, gets the sign, and comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Low and inside, gets away, a wild pitch. Here comes Grooms, and he's going to score just ahead of the diving attempt from Carpenter. But the wild pitch makes the count 2-0 to Howe. The fourth run of the ball game scores for Georgetown as Grooms motors down the baseline. Second wild pitch thrown by Derek Long. And now Fluitt up to second base on that same wild pitch. And a 2-0 count now as Jaden Howe steps back in from the left side. Fluitt off of second base. Long, methodical, and trying to get the sign and come set. So Howe takes the time, and now we reset, ready to go. Jaden Howe back in. Long comes set in the stretch. The 2-0 pitch. Howe fouls it off back to the screen. 2-1 the count now. The senior DH, Jaden Howe. Howe back in. Fluitt leads off second. 1 run across, a 4-0 lead for Georgetown here in the bottom of the third. The 2-1 pitch. Stays high through the zone. 3-1 the count now to Jaden Howe. So Georgetown has done all the damage with 2 outs after Soto, courtesy ran for Connor Young at the leadoff base hit, got picked off. Holly grounded out, but then a leadoff or a two-out walk to Grooms. A base hit by Fluid and a wild pitch. The Eagles have played at a two-out run here to take a 4-0 lead. Long comes set in the stretch. The 3-1 pitch to Jaden Howe. Inside, ball 4. Another walk issued, the second of the inning. As runners at first and second now with 2 outs for the Eagles. And here comes Colton Crutchfield, the left fielder. He'll step in from the left side. And now another visit from the Liberty Hill Panther dugout. We'll take it with them. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Quick visit to the mound there for the Panthers. Long back to the stretch. Faces off against Crutchfield with runners on first and second and 2 outs. The first pitch up over the head of Crutchfield for ball 1. Crutchfield 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Grounded out to short back in the second inning. Steps in here with 2 outs and runners on first and second. 1 run across the inning, 4-0. Georgetown leads it over Liberty Hill here in the bottom of the third. Derek Long comes set. The 1-0 pitch to Crutchfield. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 the count now to Crutchfield. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. The 2-2 pitch, 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. 1-2 now the count. Crutchfield back in the box. Long comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The 1-2 pitch. Low and outside. And a good block by Carpenter. Doesn't allow the base runners to advance, but the count evens out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I chuckle at the dugout chatter as every time Derek Long looked back at second base at the runner flew it, they yelled no. And so getting into the pitcher's head as it continues. The 2-2 pitch. Crutchfield takes it. Called strike 3 for out number 3, and the Eagles are retired here in the bottom of the third. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base after 3 complete. 4-0, Georgetown leads it over the Liberty Hill Panthers. Quick timeout. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Here at Eagle Field, Georgetown baseball and first responder broadcasting, sponsored by King's Pest Control, 512-930-PEST. For all your pest control needs, serving Williamson County for over 40 years, a family and locally owned since 1982. Safe and reliable pest control for your home or business. King's Pest Control. Give them a call. They will take care of you. We go to the top of the fourth. Hagen Tate will face off against the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. First pitch to Fozzie Moore just misses high for ball 1. Moore 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Flew out to the shortstop, Kiki. in shallow center field. A 1-0 pitch. Slapped foul down the first baseline, out of play. 1-1 to count. Activity down in the Panther bullpen down the first baseline. Tate from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. That was in there for a called strike two. 1-2 to count now. The windup, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Fozzie Moore down on strikes for the 5th strikeout of the ball game for Hagen Tate. And with one out and the bases empty, in steps the right fielder, number 22, Jackson Richter. Richter in from the right side. First pitch on the outside corner for a called strike one. Richter 0 for 1 in the ball game, flew out to right field to Tate Ritchie back in the second inning. Steps back in, the 0-1 pitch. Fly ball on the right side of the infield. Flew will give chase into foul territory. And he'll make the catch for out number 2. P3 in the book to retire Richter. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, in steps the shortstop, number 1, Pearson Lowry. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out back in the second inning. Was retired on the 2-3 put out on the drop third strike to end the inning for the Panthers. The first pitch from Tate to Lowry. Ground ball hit out to short. Kiki will charge. Fields it, throws across the diamond. Fluid has to go get it, cannot get the tag. So Lowry will reach base. There'll be an error on the shortstop, Jack Kiki, on the throw that pulls Fluid off the base. E6 in the book. And a 1-out base runner, or 2-out base runner for the Panthers here in the top of the 4th as Kobe Neuenschwander steps in, 0 for 0 in the ballgame, walked and left stranded. First pitch to Neuenschwander, fouled off back to the backstop. 0-1 to count. Neuenschwander is not left stranded. He was cut down on a fielder's choice, 6-4, after his leadoff walk there in the third inning. And so he stays 0 for 0 in the ballgame, behind in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Tate comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball. Sent down the left field line, but it curls out of play. And behind in the count now, no balls and 2 strikes, is Kobe Neuenschwander, the junior left fielder for the Panthers. Tate comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Runner off and a foul ball. Neuenschwander stays alive. 49 pitches through 3 innings for Hagen Tate. He has only allowed 1 hit through 3 2/3. The 0-2 pitch on the outside corner, called strike 3. No need to throw down to second as Neuenschwander strikes out looking for out number 3 to end the inning for the Panthers. No runs on no hits, 1 error and 1 runner left on base. After 3.5, Georgetown 4, Liberty Hill nothing. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here to Georgetown High School in Eagle Field. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. The 8-9-1 hitters due up for Georgetown. Tate Ritchie, Cooper Thomas, and Jack Kiki due up. Tate Ritchie steps in, 1-for-1 of the ball game. Singled, stole second base back in the second inning. Was left stranded there. Steps in here, 1-for-1 in the ball game. Derek Long on for his second inning of work. The first pitch to Ritchie. Misses low and outside for ball one. Activity continues. Down in the Panther bullpen, down the first baseline. From the windup, the 1-0 pitch to Tate. Low and outside, ball 2. In his first inning of work, Derek Long. I'll have to go back and add them all up. The 2 wild pitches cost him with the 2 runs. Gave up the 2 hits, gave up the 1 run. 2-0 pitch to Ritchie, misses outside, ball 3. Three and 0 the count to the senior right fielder, Tate Ritchie, with the sophomore, Cooper Thomas, on deck for the Eagles. The 3-0 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. Ritchie taking. Now Tate back in for the right side. Long from the windup. The 3-1 pitch. Misses inside, ball 4. A leadoff base runner for the 3rd inning in a row for Georgetown. 3rd walk issued by Derek Long. So Cooper Thomas, the number 9 hitter in the Eagle lineup, the center fielder, steps in here. 0-for-1 in the ball game. Struck out back in the second inning. Steps in with no outs and a base runner down at first base. Ritchie will lead off there as Breckel will hold him on. Long from the stretch comes set. First pitch to Thomas. He'll square to bunt. Takes it. Throw down behind Ritchie. He's going to take off, and now he's going to be in the pickle between first and second. They'll run him back and tag him. So that'll go 2-3-6 on the pickoff. So for the second inning in a row, a leadoff man aboard and a leadoff man erased. A 1-0 the count to Cooper Thomas. So 1 ball, no strikes to Cooper Thomas with 1 out and the base is empty. The 1-0 pitch from Long. On the inside corner for called strike 1. 1-1 the count. Thomas back in from the right side. Long from the windup now with the bases empty. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 the count now. Long looks in, gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch. It should be a hit by pitch. It hit his helmet first. And Coach Vieira out to argue it. It hit a helmet of Cooper Thomas first and then skipped off the helmet and hit the bat. So the body contact eliminates the contact with a bat, and it should be a hit by pitch. So the home plate umpire will go out to talk to the field umpire. But you heard it hit off the helmet and then the bat. The catcher Carpenter talks with Thomas at home plate. But Liberty Hill completed the play because off of the bat it went into fair territory. They threw down to first. We'll see if they're going to overturn this or not. I was waiting for the Jeopardy music to come on. But we're here in the bottom of the 4th. Georgetown put up 3 in the bottom of the 2nd, 1 in the bottom of the 3rd, leads it 4-0. As we sit in the ball game, it's no runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Panthers, and 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Eagles. And now an explanation given to Coach Vieira. They're going to call, I have a feeling they're going to call Cooper Thomas out. So it stays 1-2. They're going to call it, I guess, just a foul ball, and the at-bat continues for Cooper Thomas. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch stays high through the zone. 2-2 the count now to Cooper Thomas. That's what I need to do, is start making contact with the home plate umpire and see if he'll go to the mic and give us an explanation. A 2-2 count now to Cooper Thomas. Long from the windup, 1 out. The base is empty here in the bottom of the 4th. The 2-2 pitch. Slapped foul down the first baseline, out of play. Thomas stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes with Jack Kiki on deck for Georgetown. Long in the windup. Now he'll step off. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch stays high through the zone, and now a full count here to Cooper Thomas. I properly described the Liberty Hill hats today. They went with a 2-tone hat. It's black across the back and the bill. The purple front with LH over the state of Texas outline in purple as well. Beautiful hats there for Liberty Hill. As Derek Long looks in, gets the sign from the windup. The payoff pitch. Thomas slaps it foul, out of play down the first baseline. The next pitch will be the 9th of the at-bat for Cooper Thomas. Last night, if you listened in the top of the 6th inning, Kaysen Naw took the 10th pitch of his at-bat and deposited it over the left field wall for a 2-run home run for the Wildcats. The payoff pitch, low and outside, misses for ball 4. 4th walk issued by Derek Long, and that'll put a 1-out base runner on first for the Eagles as Cooper Thomas heads down to first. And now the shortstop, Jack Kiki, steps in. Kiki 0 for 2 in the ball game. Flew out in the first, grounded out in the second. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner at first base. First pitch to Kiki on the inside corner for a called strike 1. 0-1 to count. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at first base. The 0-1 pitch, the runner off. Cooper Thomas will easily steal second base. Slides in feet first there. Pitch misses for ball 1. 3rd stolen base of the ball game for the Eagles. It's Cooper Thomas now in scoring position. And this is where Cooper Thomas has fun. He will play with the pitcher. The speed he has as he leads off second base. The 1-1 pitch, low and outside. Down in the turf, and that allows Cooper Thomas to move 90 feet away from home plate down to third base. On that wild pitch, the 3rd wild pitch from Derek Long. And a 2-1 count now to Jack Kiki with 1 out, a runner at third base. On deck, the catcher, Connor Young. Now Derek Long will move back to the windup. The 2-1 pitch. Down low, skips in for ball 3. Nice block there by the catcher, Colton Carpenter. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at third, infield in for the Panthers. Kiki ready to go. The 3-1 pitch. Kiki ground ball to short. Shortstop up with it. The throw to first in time. And so the Panthers able to keep Cooper Thomas down at third base. And 2 outs on the inning. 6-3 on the putout of Jack Kiki for out number 2. And in steps Connor Young, who's 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Flew out to left in the first. Singled in the third. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner at third base. From the windup, the first pitch to Young. Inside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking pitch. Catches the zone for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Derek Long on in his second inning of relief work. Dominguez pitched inning of 1 and 2. Long now on the third and fourth inning from the windup. The 1-1 pitch to Young. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count now to the catcher, Connor Young. As activity continues down the first baseline in the Panther bullpen. Long gets the sign. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at third base. From the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Sails high for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Connor back in from the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at third base. The 2-2 pitch. Way outside and high for ball 3. And now a full count here to Connor Young with Luke Holly on deck. The payoff pitch to Young. Ground ball hit. Third baseman Rodriguez up with it. Throws across the diamond. It pulls the first baseman off the bag. And that'll score the run. Connor Young legs it out. Breckel couldn't stay in contact. And that'll be another error on the Panthers. That will be on the third baseman, Rodriguez. So Connor Young reaches on the E5. Cooper Thomas scores on that error. 5th run of the ball game for Georgetown. It's a 5-0 lead. Soto on to run for the catcher, Connor Young, as Luke Holly steps in. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out in the first, grounded out to short in the third. Throw over to first. Off of Soto. He dives back in safely and shakes it off. Two outs, a runner at first. 1 run across here in the 4th. 5-0, Georgetown leads it. The first pitch to Luke Holly. Ground ball chopped out to the mound. Long fields it, runs over, pitches it to Breckel at first. In time to retire Holly and the Eagles here in the 4th. 1-3 on the putout. And the Eagles lead it 5-0. They scored right there, 1 run on no hits, 1 error, and had 1 runner left on base. After 4 complete innings, Georgetown 5, Liberty Hills 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. And we go to the top of the 5th inning. Liberty Hill will bring up the 8-9-1 hitters as Hayden McBeth steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. And he'll face the new pitcher in for the Georgetown Eagles. The first pitch misses inside for ball 1. Now on the mound for the Eagles is number 15, Landon Bullock, the junior lefty. Works from the third base side of the rubber from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch to McBeth. This is low and inside, ball 2, 2-0 the count. So Hagen Tate goes 4 innings in the ball game for the Eagles. We'll close out his numbers here in a minute. The 2-0 pitch to McBeth. Fouled off back behind home plate, 2-1 the count. Landon Bullock, the lefty. In here, in the top of the 5th for Georgetown. Comes set in the stretch. The 2-1 pitch. Fly ball hit to the right side. Holly back in a shallow right field. Calls for it and makes the catch. F4 in the book to retire McBeth for out number 1. And with 1 out, that'll take us to the number 9 hitter in the lineup, number 21, Colton Carpenter. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out back in the 3rd inning, reached base on a drop third strike when Connor Young threw down to second base behind the runner to get the caught stealing, or the pickoff. Carpenter steps in with the bases empty. First pitch from Bullock skips in for ball 1. Bullock comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Sails high, ball 2, 2-0 the count. Hagen Tate, the starter, went 4 innings. Threw 60 pitches, allowed no runs. 1 hit, struck out 5, walked 2, and 1 wild pitch. As he sits in position to get the win, should Georgetown be able to hold on. The 2-0 pitch from Bullock, fouled off, back behind home plate. 2-1 the count now. To the catcher, Colton Carpenter. Grayson McVan, the center fielder, on deck for the Panthers here in the top of the 5th inning. Bullock gets the sign from Connor Young, comes set in the stretch. The 2-1 pitch. Beautiful pitch in there for a called strike 2. 2-2 the count now. Carpenter back in for the right side. Bullock gets the sign, comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball hit into left field. Crutchfield will charge in and make the catch for out number 2, F7 in the book, to retire Carpenter. And that takes us back to the top of the Panther lineup where Grayson McVan, the center fielder, will step in. He has the only hit of the ball game for the Panthers. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out in the first, doubled and left stranded in the 3rd. As he steps in here with 2 outs and the bases empty in the top of the 5th. First pitch misses for ball 1 to McVan. One to know the count to the lefty. McVan ready to go. Bullock, the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. He chases a filthy breaking pitch down on the turf. 1-1 to count now. The 1-1 pitch. Not sure what he just called. Was it modified? Was it a strike? Nope. So 2-1 to count. Just missed on the inside is what he just talked to Coach V about. So a 2-1 count here to McVan. Bullock comes set, the 2-1 pitch. Low and away for ball 3. 3-1 to count now. To the leadoff batter, Grayson McVan. Georgetown's next action will be Tuesday on the road to take on the Hendrickson Hawks. 7 p.m. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss as McVan chases another breaking pitch. And a full count now with 2 outs and the base is empty here in the top of the 5th. Tuesday, the 1st of April. Eagles will be at Hendrickson to take on the Hawks. On Thursday night, we'll be at Camp Brightside. Come join us for the Camp Brightside at the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. The payoff pitch misses for ball 4 and a 2-out base runner for the Panthers as McVan heads down to first on the first walk issued by Landon Bullock. Danny Rodriguez, the third baseman, will step in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out in the first, walking left stranded in the third. And then Friday night, the Eagles will be home against the Hawks for Game 2 of that 2-game series. 7 p.m. start. First pitch to Rodriguez, misses low and outside, ball 1. And then next Saturday, the Eagles will be at home as we will take on Midway Panthers, I believe it is. Let me double check. No, we will take on Lehman here at home at 1 p.m. The 1-0 pitch misses low for ball 2. 2-0 the count. But next Saturday will be a 1 o'clock start back here at Eagle Field. So Tuesday on the road, Thursday night the coaches show at Camp Brightside, Friday, Saturday back home here at Eagle Field. The 2-0 pitch, fly ball, curls back out of play down the first baseline. 2-1 the count now. To the third baseman, Danny Rodriguez, with the first baseman Chase Breckel on deck. For the Panthers, should Rodriguez be able to extend this top of the 5th inning. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, a runner at first on the 2-out walk issued to Grayson McVan. Being held on by Fluid. Bullock comes set in the stretch. 2-1 pitch. Fly ball back out of play as Rodriguez fouls it off and the count runs even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here in the top of the 5th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first for the Panthers. They trail 5-0 to your Georgetown Eagles. Bullock comes set. The 2-2 pitched. Fouled off. Back behind the plate. And Rodriguez stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Georgetown put up 3 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, 1 in the bottom of the 3rd, 1 in the bottom of the 4th. They lead it 5-0 over the Panthers. McVan leads off first. Fluid holds him on there. Rodriguez back in for the right side. His Bullock comes set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. Flares the ball back out of play as Rodriguez fights off another one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A little delay there. Now we're back at it. Bullock comes set. The 2-2 pitch just misses. Thought Rodriguez just got rung up, but instead it's a full count. The runner McVan will be off on the pitch with a full count and 2 outs. Here in the top of the 5th, Bullock looks in and gets a sign from Connor Young. Rodriguez readies in the box. And a throw over to first is Fluid. Grabs it there as McVan dives back in safely. McVan will be off on the pitch with the full count and 2 outs. Bullock comes set. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A nice pitch there by Bullock, and the Eagles are out of the inning with no harm done. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 4.5 innings, Georgetown 5, Liberty Hill nothing. Eagle baseball continues in. And we go to the bottom of the fifth. The new pitcher on, it'll be the lefty, Giancarlo Giletti, the senior. Where's number 8? In for the Panthers on the mound to face off against the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Grooms, Fluid, and Howe. First pitch to Grooms. In there for a called strike. Grooms, 1 for 1 in the ball game. Singled and scored a run in the second, walked and scored a run in the third. Giletti works from the stretch. From the third base side of the rubber, the high knee kick, the 0-1 pitch. Fouled back out of play, 0-2 the count to Hayden Grooms. Defensively, we'll update that here in just a minute. But a change in the outfield. For the Panthers as well. The 0-2 pitch to Grooms. Skips in. Grooms checks his swing and takes it for ball 1. 1-2 the count. Giletti comes set. The 1-2 pitch to Grooms. Swing and a miss. Chases the high heater for strike 3. 1 out here in the inning. First strikeout recorded for Giletti. That'll bring up the first baseman, number 12, David Fluid. Fluid steps in. He's 2 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch. Skips outside the right-handed batter's box for ball 1. Fluid doubled and scored a run in the second. Singled and left stranded at second base in the third inning. Steps in here with 1 out. The base is empty in the bottom of the fifth. The 1-0 count from Giletti. The 1-0 pitch. On the outside corner for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Giletti comes set. The 1-1 pitch to Fluid. Breaking pitch in there. Beautiful pitch. Starts out about body even with Fluid and then breaks into the plate for a called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. The base is empty here in the bottom of the fifth. 5-0. Georgetown leads it. Giletti comes set in the stretch. The high knee kick. The 1-2 pitch. Misses outside. Ball 2. 2-2 the count now. To the senior first baseman, David Fluid. With Jaden Howe, the DH, on deck for Georgetown. Giletti comes set. The 2-2 pitch to Fluid. Fouled back out of play. Fluid battles here and stays alive. 2-2 the count with 1 out. The 2-2 pitch. Fluid grounds it towards second. Charged. And the throw from Macbeth to Breckel in time to retire Fluid. 4-3 on the putout. For out number 2 with 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up the DH, number 8, Jaden Howell. Howell 1 for 1 in the ball game. Singled. A 2 RBI single in the second. Scored a run. Walked and left stranded in the third inning. So 1 for 1 in the ball game with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Steps in here with the bases empty and 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth to face off against Giancarlo Giletti, senior lefty for the Panthers. Third pitcher of the day. First pitch, Howell takes it outside for ball 1. A 1-0 the count. From Giletti. The 1-0 pitch to Howell. That one's in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Gillette comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Skips out and away for ball 2. 2-1 the count. To Jaden Howell. Gillette from the stretch. Works solely out of the stretch. Third base side of the rubber. Comes set. That high knee kick. The 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3-1 the count. Defensively now for the Panthers. In right field, Coggin has come in for Richter. And on the mound, Gillette came in relief here in the 5th inning for Long. Gillette comes set. The 3-1 pitch to Jaden Howe. Misses up and away, and Howe draws his second walk of the ball game. So a 2-out base runner. Gillette's first walk of the ball game.
At bat for Georgetown, number 9, Colton.
5th walk issued by Panther pitchers. And in steps Colton Crutchfield. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Grounded out in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 3rd. He steps in here with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Beautiful day here. The wind is picked up a little bit, blowing from kind of the south, right to left across the outfield. First pitch here to Crutchfield, a swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1 the count. .54 pitches thrown through 2 innings for Derek Long in relief. He gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, walked 4, 3 wild pitches. The 0-1 pitch to Crutchfield, and it hits him. So another base runner here with 2 outs on the hit by pitch. Howe will move up to second. First batter hit by a pitch by Liberty Hill pitching today. That'll bring up Tate Ritchie. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. He's singled, left stranded at second base back at the 2nd inning. Walked and picked off in the 4th inning. Howell off second. First pitch to Ritchie. Swinging, slashes one foul down the first baseline, out of play. 0-1 to count to the senior right fielder, Tate Ritchie. Back to action Tuesday night at Hendrickson. Back into district play to take on the Hendrickson Hawks, which will be a battle for first place as both teams just have 1 loss in district play. The 0-1 pitch to Tate Ritchie. Now at time is Gillette giving a lot of attention back to second base at Jaden Howe, the runner. So Ritchie takes time and steps out. We'll all reset with no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Crutchfield off first. Howell off second. Gillette. The 0-1 pitch to Ritchie on the outside corner for called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Both 2-out base runners after a base on balls to Howell and a hit by pitch to Crutchfield. And now Tate back in for the right side. Giancarlo Gillette, the 3rd pitcher of the day, comes set in the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Inside, almost hit Ritchie. Takes it for ball 1. 1-2 the count. Waco Midway. New Braunfels, the Unicorns, will do battle here at Eagle Field at the completion of this ball game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gillette, the high knee kick. The 1-2 pitch. Low and outside for ball 2. 2-2 now the count. To Tate Ritchie. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and second here in the bottom of the 5th. Georgetown threatening. Ritchie back in. Gillette comes set. The 2-2 pitch. And it hit him. Bases full. All with 2 outs. Back-to-back batters hit by a pitch, and that'll bring up Cooper Thomas.
Now batting number 24, Cooper Thomas.
So Jaden Howell moves up to third, Crutchfield to second, Tate Ritchie down to first base. Hit by a pitch on the 2-2 count. And more action in the Panther bullpen down the first baseline. Cooper Thomas steps in, 0 for 1 in the ballgame. The first pitch from Giletti, low for ball 1. Cooper struck out in the second inning, walked, scored a run in the fourth. Stands in here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Yeah, great time for a base hit from Coop. Open this one up. Giletti comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Thomas sends a fly ball down the right field line. A long run for Coggin in right field, and he can't get to it as he slides. So it just falls for a strike. 1-1 the count. So Cooper Thomas with 2 outs and the bases loaded. 2 quick outs recorded on a strikeout and a ground out by Giancarlo Giletti. But then a walk to Jaden Howell and 2 batters in a row hit by a pitch. Have loaded them up for the Eagles here in the bottom of the fifth. And Cooper Thomas, the sophomore center fielder, steps in. 1 ball, 1 strike count with 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch. Foul tip into the glove of Carpenter for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Eagles with an opportunity here to open it up, leading it 5-0 in the bottom of the fifth. Cooper fouls it off, stays alive in the at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Here comes manager Jared Frimmel delivering the baseballs to the umpire. He'll get the crowd going. Coop back in from the right side. Giletti comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Cooper fly ball right side. First baseman, second baseman retreat. Second baseman, they can't get to it. The wind blows it dead. 2-run score. Cooper Thomas cruises into second, Ritchie to third, and 2 runs across. It's 7-0 Georgetown. It was an awkward play for Macbeth as he retreated
Number 7, Jack Kiki.
into shallow right field. A long run for Coggin. And it'll fall. Give Cooper Thomas a base hit there. No one could get to it and make a play. The first pitch to Kiki fouled off the catcher Carpenter. Oh, and 1 to count to Jack Kiki. So Howell and Crutchfield score. Ritchie to third, Cooper Thomas to second. And Cooper's speed is what created that because he just continued to run once he made contact and motored into second. The 0-1 pitch to Jack Kiki. Fouled off back to the net. 0-2 the count now. The wind, we talked about it earlier in the inning. The wind had picked up. Kind of blowing across. Now the flag's blowing straight out from center field. The 0-2 pitch to the shortstop, Kiki. Chases it and swings and strikes out for out number 3. Here in the bottom of the fifth, but not before. Georgetown picks up 2 runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 runners left on base. After 5 complete, Georgetown 7, Liberty Hill 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here live, Eagle Field. We go to the top of the 6th inning. On to pitch for your Georgetown Eagles will be number 20, the senior right-hander, Ezekiel Hernandez. Hernandez will work out of the windup from the center of the rubber. The first pitch. Batted back up the middle. Kiki to his left, Fields throws on the run, and it pulls Fluid off the bag. The runner is going to head to second, but Fluid drops it. And so Chase Breckel could have been thrown out at second, but Fluid couldn't hold on to it after it ricocheted back to him. And so an error there on Jack Kiki allows Breckel to reach base. Moves up to second base on it. E5 or E6 in the book. So now Ezekiel Hernandez will move to the stretch with Fozzie Moore coming up, the DH, in the number 4 slot, 0 for 2 in the ballgame. Zeke from the first base side of the rubber in the stretch. A look, turn to second, and throws back behind Breckel. He's back in safely. So the leadoff man aboard here in the top of the 6th for the Panthers. No outs and a runner at second. Chase Breckel, the first baseman. Fozzie Moore gets ready. The first pitch from Zeke. Line drive hit into left field. Crutchfield up with it, and he'll throw home. Connor Young will cut it off. And Coach Creek looks over at the batter, Fozzie Moore. He never looked at the ball. The throw came home, and they got away from Connor Young. He could have been at second. But now runners on the corners on the second hit of the ball game for the Panthers there by Fozzie Moore. So the single moves Breckel up to third with runners on first and third. In steps Coggin, number 19. Camden Coggin. The lefty steps in. The first pitch from Zeke, up and away for ball 1. Coggin came in defensively in the bottom of the 5th out in right field for Jackson Richter. Comes into bat here in the top of the 6th inning. The 1-0 pitch, foul ball. Down the third baseline, off the net towards the third base coacher's box. 1-1 to count to Camden Coggin. Coggin back in from the left side. Zeke will come set in the stretch. Runners off first and third. Throw over to first base. Moore dives back in safely. One ball, one strike, no outs. Runners on the corners. Zeke comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Sails just high for ball 2. 2-1 to count. Zeke comes set. A look at first base. The 2-1 pitch. Fly ball left side. Crutchfield cruising towards the foul line. He'll settle under it, make the catch. He'll throw home. That'll allow Moore to advance to second, but keeps Breckel at third. So the first out of the inning, F7 in the book. And with one out, that'll bring up the shortstop, number 1, Pearson Lowry. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out. Back in the second inning. Reached on an error in the 4th. Was left stranded. Steps in here with runners on second and third and 1 out. Grooms up even with the bag at third. The first pitch from Zeke. Misses outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Bullock threw 1 inning of relief for it. Threw 23 pitches. Struck out 1, walked 1. And Zeke Hernandez on here in the 6th for Georgetown, the third pitcher of the day for the Eagles. Pitch gets away from Connor Young, but no one able to advance. So a 2-0 count here to Pearson Lowry with no outs. One out in the inning. Runners at second and third. Leadoff man reached on an error. And Fozzie Moore singled, moved up on the flyout. The 2-0 pitch. Slapped foul into the screen down the first baseline. 2-1 to count now to Pearson Lowry. With Kobe Neuenschwander on deck for the Panthers. Here in the top of the sixth. 7-0 lead for Georgetown. Hernandez comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Misses outside. Ball 3. 3-1 to count now to Lowry, the shortstop for the Liberty Hill Panthers. The 3-1 pitch. Outside corner called, strike 2, and the count goes full now to Lowry. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out, and the runners at second and third. Hernandez gets a sign. Zeke comes set in the stretch. The payoff pitch. Dismisses for ball 4, and the bases are loaded for the Panthers with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. First walk issued by Hernandez.
Now batting number 6, Kobe.
4th walk by Eagle pitching allowed today. Neuenschwander will step in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Walked in the 3rd, struck out looking in the 4th. Breckel off first, Fozzie Moore off second, Lowry off first for the Panthers. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Neuenschwander steps in for the left side. Zeke comes set. The first pitch to Neuenschwander. Misses up and away for ball 1. Eagles have put up runs in each of the last 4 innings. No runs in the first, but then 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth. Lead at 7-0. Zeke comes set. The 1-0 pitch to Neuenschwander. Line drive hit out into left center field. Colton Crutchfield on the run will catch it. He'll go and throw back to second base, but it can't be doubled off as Holly unable to make the catch in time. That'll score Breckel from third base. A good play by Crutchfield. He was close to second. The runner was way off and hadn't tagged, but unable to get the force play in time. So Fozzie Moore safe at second. As Breckel scores from third, the first run for the Panthers is Neuenschwander. L7 in the book for out number 2, and that'll bring up Hayden McBeth, the second baseman, with 2 outs and runners on first and second. First pitch sails high for ball 1. So technically a sac fly there for Neuenschwander. Score that run from third with less than 2 outs. Throw to second base. Skips off the turf and off the arm or rib cage of Fozzie Moore into shallow center field, but Holly there to back up and keep it from going further. So runners stay at first and second with 1-0 count to McBeth. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. 7-1 your score. Zeke comes set, the 1-0 pitch. High, throw back to first behind the runner, and he, oh! 2-0 count to Hayden McBeth. The throw down from Connor Young. Thought the tag applied in time, called safe. The 2-0 pitch. Fly ball back out of play. 2-1 to count to Hayden McBeth, the second baseman. On deck, the catcher, Colton Carpenter. Should McBeth be able to extend the inning? Fozzie Moore off second. Lowry off first. The pitch. Outside corner called. Strike 2. 2-2. Now the count. Nice pitch there by Zeke. Took a little off, painted the corner. Now a 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs and runners at first and second here in the top of the 6th. Zeke from the first base side of the rubber in the stretch gets the sign and comes set. A peek at second base. The 2-2 pitch. McBeth lays off and takes it low for ball 3. So, full count with 2 outs. Runners on first and second will be off with the pitch. Zeke gets a sign, comes set. The payoff pitch. Foul ball back into the screen. And McBeth stays alive in the at-bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Fozzie Moore off from second base. Pearson Lowry off from first base. When Zeke goes into the motion, Zeke comes set. The 3-2 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 3. McBeth goes down looking for out number 3. And Georgetown gets out of the inning with only 1 run given up. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. After 5.5, Georgetown 7, Liberty Hill 1. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back to action we go in the bottom of the 6th. Giancarlo Giletti on to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Georgetown here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Connor Young, Luke Colley, and Hayden Grooms. Connor Young takes the first pitch. High for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Young 1 for 3 on the day. The 1-0 pitch from Giletti. On the outside corner for a called strike. 1-1 the count. To the sophomore catcher, Connor Young. Flew out in the first. Singled in the third, reached on an error in the fourth. The 1-1 pitch to Connor. Went around as he tried to get out of the way of the pitch, but the momentum took it bat through. So we'll call a strike there. He's unable to check that swing. 1 ball, 2 strike count now to Young. The 1-2 pitch. Misses low and outside. Ball 2. 2-2 the count now. Giletti comes set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch to Young. Misses for ball 3. 3-2 now. A full count to the catcher, Connor Young. The payoff pitch. Young pulls it towards first base. Breckel will field it. He'll take it by himself. Step on the back 3 unassisted to record the out of Young for out number 1. And with 1 out, that will bring up the second baseman, Luke Holly.
Number 6, Luke Holly.
Holly will step in. With one out and the base is empty. Here in the bottom of the sixth. Holly 0 for 3 in the ball game. Struck out in the first, grounded out in the third and the fourth. First pitch on the inside corner for called strike one. His first inning of work. Gilletti allowed 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors. Left 2 runners on base through 30 pitches. The 0-1 pitch fouled off into the glove of the catcher for a strike. 0-2 the count to Luke. With Hayden Grooms, the third baseman, on deck for Georgetown. Here in the bottom of the sixth, the 0-2 pitch from Gilletti. Fouled off the catcher, Carpenter. Holly stays alive in the at-bat. No balls, 2 strikes. Midway, fans and the New Braunfels Unicorn fans filing in, getting ready for their ball game. Being hosted here at Eagle Field after the completion of this one. In the bottom of the sixth, 7-1, Georgetown leads it. The 0-2 pitch skips in and away for ball one. 1-2 the count now to Holly. Luke steps back in for the right side. The lefty Gilletti gets set. The 1-2 pitch. Holly cranks it down the left field line but pulls it foul. Just another long foul ball, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. The senior second baseman, Luke Holly. Gilletti looks in, gets the sign, and comes set in the stretch. The high knee kick. The 1-2 pitch. Off speed, up and away, ball 2. 2-2 now the count. Good battle here between Gilletti and Luke Holly. Two balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Up and away, ball 3, and Luke's worked it back to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, the base is empty here in the bottom of the sixth. Georgetown leads it 7-1. The payout pitch. Outside, Luke Holly draws a 1-out walk. Great at bat there for Luke. Quality at bat. Second walk issued by Gilletti. Now Hayden Grooms will step in. He's 1 for 2 on the day. A single and a run scored in the second. A walk and a run scored in the third. Struck out in the fifth. Moving to the on-deck circle is number 18, Ryan Castilleja. He'll hit in the number 5 slot for Fluid. Luke off and running. The first pitch gets away from Carpenter. So that'll be a wild pitch by Gilletti. 4th wild pitch from Liberty Hill pitching today. So Holly cruises into second base. Now 1 out and a runner in second. A 1-0 count to Hayden Grooms. Gilletti a look at second. The 1-0 pitch. Slide step inside. Ball 2. So with the runner on, the high leg kick diminished as completely there to a smooth slide step from the lefty Gilletti. Get the ball delivery quicker. Comes set. A look at second. The 2-0 pitch. Down low, and it gets away from the catcher. Carpenter, Holly around third. So another wild pitch. That one given a pass ball to the catcher Carpenter, but allows Holly just 90 feet away now. With 1 out and a 3-0 count to Hayden Grooms. Gilletti comes set. The 3-0 pitch. Outside, ball 4, back-to-back walks. And now runners on the corners. Third walk issued by Gilletti. And here comes a visit from the Liberty Hill bullpen or dugout, and we'll take it with them. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment. King's Pest Control brings you Georgetown baseball by the First Responder broadcast team live here on the SHN Sports Network. So find out more about King's Pest Control. Call them 512-930-PEST. 512-930-PEST-7378. Or visit them, kingspest.com. They're located here in Georgetown, serving the Williamson County's area of pest control needs for over 40 years. Family and locally owned since 1982. No contracts. Affordable upfront pricing. The best around. It's King's Pest Control. Safe and reliable pest control services for your home or business. A call to the bullpen for the Liberty Hill Panthers. They'll bring on their fourth pitcher of the ball game. It will be the designated hitter now coming in to play defensively. As he goes to the mound, it's the number 17, Fozzie Moore, the senior right-hander, will come in relief. With one out and runners on first and third here in the bottom of the sixth. And he will face off against the pinch hitter, number 18. It's Ryan Castilleja, the senior. Castilleja throws right, bats right. Will hit here in the number 5 slot for Fluid. So Fozzie Moore, the fourth pitcher of the day, comes in. .48 pitches thrown in an inning and a third for Giancarlo Giletti. As Moore comes in here with one out. Giletti is still responsible for the two runners, the first and third base. And now Castilleja steps in, runners on first and third. Moore, the righty, works out of the stretch. First pitch to Castilleja, catches the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 to count. Jaden Howell, the DH, on deck for the Eagles. Here in the bottom of the sixth, runners on the corners, one out. Moore comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch to Castilleja. High through for ball one. 1-1 the count. Moore comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Castilleja fouls it back out of play. 1-2 the count now. Connor Young grounded out to start the inning. And then back-to-back walks to Holly and Grooms. Holly moved up to second on a wild pitch, advanced to third on the pass ball. And we sit here, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Castilleja with 1 out and runners on the corners. Moore comes set, the 1-2 pitch. Sails high, ball 2, 2-2 the count out of Castilleja. Jaden Howell waiting his turn on deck, the DH for the Eagles. Moore comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Up and in and called strike 3. Castilleja down on strikes for out number 2. First strikeout for Fozzie Moore. 4th strikeout of the day for Liberty Hill pitching. And with 2 outs and runners on the corners, in steps Jaden Howell. He's 1 for 1 in the ballgame. A 2 RBI single and a run scored in the second. And back-to-back walks in the 3rd and 5th innings. Throw over to first. Grooms dives back in safely there. Howell back in from the left side. Moore will come set in the stretch. First pitch to Howell, swinging. Chopper down the baseline, first baseline. Moore can't field it. It's going to be in between them. And Crutchfield, or Howell's going to beat it out. Holly scores from third. So now Grooms up to second. So in steps Colton Crutchfield. with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. 1 run across. Crutchfield pops this one up. And it's going to curl back out of play off the top of the clamshell. That run charged to Giletti. Still responsible for the runner grooms that at second base before we can close the book on him. So it's an infield single ruled for Howell. He'll get the RBI that scores Holly. The 0-1 pitch to Crutchfield. Breaking pitch misses for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Crutchfield 0 for 2 at the ball game. Ground out in the second. Struck out looking in the third. Reached on a hit by pitch and scored a run in the fifth. The 1-1 pitch misses outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count now to Colton Crutchfield. Crutchfield, the left fielder. Tate Ritchie on deck for the Eagles. Should Crutchfield be able to extend the inning? The 2-1 pitch. Crutchfield fouls it off back to the screen. 2-2 the count now. To the left fielder, Colton Crutchfield. Grooms off second. Jaden Howell off first. Fozzie Moore comes set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch to Crutchfield. Moore will take a step off. Grooms returns to second base. Now Moore toes the rubber, comes set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch sails high, ball 3. Full count here to Crutchfield. So the runners will be off on the pitch with a 3-2 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 8-1, Georgetown leads it by 7 over the Liberty Hill Panthers. Fozzie Moore comes set. Payoff pitch, the runner's off. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Georgetown's down here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and 2 runners left on base. After 6 complete innings, 8-1, Georgetown leads it back for the top of the 7th after this on the SHN Sports Network. Back here, we go to the top of the 7th. Zeke Hernandez stays on in relief for the Eagles. Defensively, Ryan Castilleja comes in to play first base for the Eagles. Jalen Hunter moves into the second base position. And Clayton King in left field to replace Crutchfield defensively. First pitch from Zeke Hernandez. Here in the top of the 7th is a called strike to Colton Carpenter, the catcher. The number 9 hitter as he leads off here in the 7th for the Panthers. The 0-1 pitch from Hernandez. Fly ball right side of the infield. Castilleja backpedals. He'll be called off by Jalen Hunter, who will make the catch for out number 1. P4 in the book to record the out. And back to the top of the lineup we go as Grayson McVan. The center fielder will step in. He's 1 for 2 in the day. Struck out in the first, doubled and left stranded in the third, walked and left stranded in the 5th. As he stands in here with 1 out and the base is empty in the 7th. First pitch in there for a called strike. In his first inning of work, Zeke Hernandez allowed 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, 2 runners left on through 21 pitches. The 0-1 pitch to McVan. Foul back behind the plate. 0-2 the count to McVan now. The Eagles hold on. They'll improve to 10-7-1 on the year. They'll be on a 3-game winning streak as they head over to Hendrickson on Tuesday night on April Fool's Day to take on the Hawks at 7 p.m. The 0-2 pitch. McVan takes it, called strike 3. So Zeke Hernandez records the strikeout, his second of the ball game. 8th Liberty Hill batter struck out by Eagle pitching today. And with 2 outs and the base is empty, Danny Rodriguez will step in. The right-handed batter ready to go. Zeke's first pitch. Line drive hit out into right field. Tate Ritchie to his right makes the catch, and that's the ball game. F9 in the book. The Panthers go in order here in the top of the 7th, and Georgetown wins it 8-1 over the Liberty Hill Panthers. Liberty Hill falls to 14-5 on the year. Georgetown improves to 10-7-1 with the win here today. Take a timeout. When we come back, we'll be down on the field to talk to Coach Jordan Vieira. Eagle baseball continues here on the SHN Network in just a moment.
Yeah. I'm the big homie. For those of y'all that don't know me, one and only, name another rapper this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic and Ricky Bobby shaking baked Brody. Pin rolling, never sleep, I just keep going. Hit my peak now, I just started like my name Tommy. Had a vision, this was destined for my life story. Bible by my side, I keep it like a gun on me. War ready and we ain't afraid to get bloody. Told me I should quit my day job, that's funny. Hate will always elevate me, I'ma keep showing. Out and selling, record spinning, it ain't never slowing. Take the stakes, take the crown, I don't need it, got the sound. I'ma be the king forever, even when they count me out. Favorite rapper, raise a bar from the ground. Taking risks you never dreamed of, get my name up out your mouth. Don't talk, it's silent on the floor, kings walk. We gon' drag your body through the door in shock. How I got them asking for a tour, man, stop. I'ma need a second, maybe more. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only,
yeah. Back here live, Eagle Field. Georgetown picks up a big win, 8-1 over a 14-4 Liberty Hill team, cruising through their district at 6-0. And tell you what, some good things here today for Eagle baseball. Another great pitching performance. Hagen Tate comes in and does a great job. How big of a win is this to keep that momentum going?
Yeah, you know, we talk about it on a regular basis of the teams that win in the playoffs or teams that are able to win on Saturdays. So we do our best not to take Saturdays off and to kind of go through the motions, but know that winning on Saturday is a habit that you create throughout the season. Hagen did a great job being able to establish a fastball early and be able to throw the breaking ball where he needed to at certain times, and played adequate defense behind him for the most part, and then always timely hitting.
That timely hitting continues to show its head for this Eagle team, and different players in different parts of the lineup. Jaden Howell, the DH, coming in, getting that early base hit to score 2 runs. How big is that the hits are coming from all over in this lineup and not just 2 or 3 players?
You know, it just continues to speak to the depth of which we're working with, of guys that can sit for a couple days and then be able to come in, get their opportunity, still barrel baseballs, and get the job done when it needs to get done. So, you know, we talked about it last night of different guys being able to step up at different times to be able to make it happen.
8-1 win. Georgetown gets it. Tuesday night, back on the road. We'll be at Hendrickson to take on the Hendrickson Hawks in district play. The Eagles win it 8-1 today over Liberty Hill. 10-7-1 on the year. Thanks for joining us here live at Eagle Field. Eagle baseball continues to move on. Next week, come join us. Hendrickson on Tuesday. Camp Brightside on Thursday. Back home on Friday and Saturday. Thanks for joining us today. The Eagles win it 8-1. It moved to 10-7-1. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good weekend.